The Boys Season 4 made it very obvious that President-elect Robert Singer's inauguration will occur on January 6 in the lead-up to its finale. That date conjures up images of the catastrophic 2020 uprising spearheaded by Trump loyalists for anyone with a pulse. The Boys has never been good at subtle satire. Their heavy-handed style has been working against them more and more in recent years. However, The Boys' fourth season finale mostly stays away from drawing parallels to the incident. It zags when you expect it to zig. Every time you believe that everything will work out, a new issue appears. Although this finale succumbs to some of the show's softer tendencies, it is nevertheless an exciting hour of TV that sets up the horrible finale that will undoubtedly occur. The ultimate goal of Homelander and Sister Sage's scheme is to have a shape-shifting superhero disguised as Starlight assassinate Robert Singer. This will guarantee that he can appoint Victoria Newman to the presidency and implement a pro-soup program. In the Season 4 finale, Erin Moriarty plays a sinisterly charming version of herself that preys on Huey's ignorance, displaying some of her best work. A doppelganger scenario has never been more exciting than it was during Nana Dobrev's tenure as Catherine and Elena on The Vampire Diaries. One of the season's best action scenes, a fight to the death, accompanies this. Annie's battle with her clone has genuine emotional consequences, which has been glaringly absent from previous episodes. She is battling not just to preserve Singer, but also for Huey, her powers, and a cause she genuinely feels strongly in. That's a clear-cut case of good versus evil, even though the show can't seem to decide if it wants Annie to be an effective force for good or just a weapon criticizing Maeve neoliberalism. The dynamic between Ryan and Butcher is less certain. They get back together in earnest when Butcher is receiving treatment at a government facility, following a season of back and forth. Butcher and Grace Mallory's actual motivations become apparent as hostilities rise. They want Ryan to kill Homelander because he is the only person strong enough to stop his father. Ryan objects to the idea and becomes much more agitated when Mallory discloses his paternity. Even though Mallory hasn't been around much in Season 4, the little kid and Butcher will both be affected negatively by Ryan's death of her. Ryan gives Butcher some time to comprehend what he has just discovered, even though he doesn't completely reject Butcher's intention to assassinate Homelander. The decision that Ryan must make between his biological father and the greater good could destroy him, and Cameron Crovetti has truly come to love the part. Ryan is completely instinctual, untrained, and raw, whereas Homelander is battling his darkest inclinations. He will undoubtedly grow to mourn Mallory's passing, but how he responds to Homelander taking over at the conclusion of the season is still to be seen. It's among the most intriguing aspects in the show, and Season 5 may benefit from it. After talking with Ryan, Butcher ultimately loses control and succumbs to the murderous part of himself that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Joe Kessler has been embodying the entire season. Butcher's brutal murder of Victoria Newman in front of her daughter shows that he is determined to carry out his plan, no matter who is harmed in the process. Karl Urban's reaction to Butcher's transformation into a fully realized villain is even more terrifying because of his sinister sparkle. Urban and we both appear to have been waiting for this moment. For the show to remain interesting, the relationships between these people must change. Although Season 4 skirted Butcher's arc, it's encouraging to witness a complete dedication to his actual self. Regarding Butcher's archenemy, nobody, well, maybe Homelander himself, will be shocked if Homelander emerges victorious once more. After making a fleeting cameo at the end of the show, Sister Sage confesses that everything that happened in the finale was basically always part of her plan. Homelander was always going to take over the US government, even with a few bumps along the way. Although it's a simple explanation, leaving Homelander completely in charge is truly the only option. However, the Psycho Soup is everything from subdued mentally. His function as the US president's shadow will undoubtedly be impacted by the fact that throughout the season, his impending midlife crisis has caused him to break under duress. All the expectations set at the start of the season are fulfilled in The Boys Season 4 finale. It's unfortunate that the show arrived at its destination in such a convoluted manner. One major example of how Season 4 feels so unimportant to the events of the finale is how Hughie Sr.'s terrible passing is barely mentioned in the narrative. The Boys nevertheless pulls off a thrilling conclusion with a potentially game-changing cliffhanger. Butcher and Annie are the only ones who manage to flee while Homelander's forces capture Hughie, Frenchie, Kimiko, and N-Man. Maybe they'll wind up where Marie from Gen V ended up. With just one more season remaining, it appears that The Boys might be able to turn things around and provide an enjoyable ending with some sincere meaning.